It disappeared.
Is that what happened yesterday?
Is that what happened yesterday?
I don't know. He didn't think so. I mean, he didn't say anything. Rabbi didn't say anything. It's the heat. I don't know what's so fast, you know? Because the heat's on.
Yeah.
And,
All right, I want to try again because I
Yeah.
don't know where it went.
Okay.
And if it's I also don't see any window in the back of it.
You want me to take a look at it?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Let's hope. Boker Tov. Let's hope that it's all working. All right, Boker Tov again. We're in Masechet Makkot in the second chapter. Elu hen hagolim. So we're talking about people that are being exiled for mistakenly killing somebody. We're in Daf Chet, in sort of in the middle, in the Mishnah that starts 4 lines from the wide lines on the Daf. מתניתים, האב גולה על ידי הבן, והבן גולה על ידי האב, הכל גולין על ידי ישראל, וישראל גולין על ידיהן, חוץ מגר תושב, וגר תושב אינו גולה, אלא על ידי גר תושב. The father gets exiled for his unintentional murder of his son. The son gets exiled for his unintentional murder of the father. Everyone, and here's a list of everyone, and we'll unpack them in just a minute. Everyone gets exiled for killing a Jew, and Israel gets exiled. Israel, a Jew, gets exiled for killing someone else, except if they kill a Ger Toshav, and the Ger Toshav does not get exiled unless he is involved in the murder of another Ger Toshav. The Ger Toshav is someone who's not Jewish, but fulfilling the 7 Noachites. The Oved Kochavim is someone who's not Jewish, not fulfilling anything. And the Eved Kanani is a servant of a Jewish person who's a Canaanite but lives with the Jews. There's going to be 3 different categories and Israel. Some questions that the Gemara is going to answer about the Mishnah. If we had time, it would be great to try to guess them. But the issue that the Mishnah singles out the father and the son. What difference does it make for a father and the son? It says that Reuven and Shimon, if they kill somebody unintentionally, they get exiled. Why did the Mishnah opt to lift up the father and the son? The Gemara is going to try to unpack it. And then the issue of who's Hakol Golin al Yadei Israel, and how do we exclude any one of them based on what? Yes, questions, comments. Okay. There's a lot to unpack, and we're a little behind, and there's interesting stories at the bottom of Tet, and in the back they are Miklat, so I'm going to try to make it there. There's complex conversations. We'll try not to completely get bogged down and just read along. Okay, Gemara says, Ha'av goleh al yedei haben. The Gemara asks a question now about the Mishnah. We're on Chet in the middle. V'ha'amart yatsa ha'av ha'makeh et bno. So you just told me that the father is going to get exiled on account of his unintentional murder of his son. But earlier you told me that a father, if he hits his son and unintentionally kills him, that he's going to be yotzei. So which specific case are we talking about? Of course, needless to say, all stuff that is probably hard for us to deal with in our modern approach to education, but let's just see it in the time and in the Gemara instead of trying to deal with the values that are being expressed.
He could also inadvertently kill his son. He could kill his son in other ways besides by giving him a punishment. the same way that, like, the axe or any other of these things
Right.
would be an inadvertent
Right.
killing of the son.
And this is part of what the Gemara wants to understand. What is the case that this is trying to exclude?
Uh-huh.
If it's unintentional, this is good. If it's unintentional, and it's like a regular case, then it's unintentional. What is the specifics of a father or a son that the Gemara is trying to live?
Right.
So the answer it gives us the Gamir. What is the Gamir? This is the word we should know, right? Gemara is like learning. So this is while teaching. But you said, no, they said this is somebody who's already learned. So now we're not talking about teaching the son Torah. We're talking about teaching the son a profession, like Shulia de Nagri, like assistant of a carpenter. So that doesn't count as Torah, therefore we have to make an exception. The Gemara challenges it. It says, Shulia de Nagri, chayuta hi de lamdei. Like, you also have to teach your child a profession, right? Elsewhere, we have a pasuk that says, Ur'eh chayim im ha'isha asher ahavta. So, like, you should see life. You should have a life. You should have a profession that you can live from. So, Shulia de Nagri counts too. But no, in this case, we're trying to exclude the situation of a gamir, of somebody who's already learned in both Torah and professional life, but the father is teaching him omanuta achriti. Going back to the Mishnah and lifting up the next section of the Mishnah, v'haben goleh al yedei ha'av. The Gemara is challenging it. Ureminhi. We already have a thing that says makeh nefesh, like if somebody kills somebody, then they would be exiled, right? If somebody kills someone else unintentionally, they would be exiled to the Ir Miklat. And there's an exclusion to that. Prat lemakeh aviv. Somebody who kills his father does not get exiled, gets a more severe punishment. Rav Kahana is trying to settle it. Amar Rav Kahana, lo kashya, ha Rabbi Shimon v'ha Rabbanan. So if you remember from Sanhedrin, Rabbi Shimon had a different ladder for the punishments than Rabbanan. Rabbi Shimon said to us that srefa was more severe than skila. Okay, burning was more severe than stoning. Choking, strangulation was more severe than killing somebody with a sword. The rabbis said slightly different. Skila is more severe than srefa. Saif is more severe than chenek. Do we need to write it down or moving on? Okay. So based on what we think is more severe, some of these things can be atoned by an exile and some of these things cannot. So depending on how you have the ladder, that is going to impact how you unpack it. Okay, so Rabbi Shimon, ha-Rabbi Shimon v'ha-Rabbanan. Rabbi Shimon דאמר חנק חמור מסייף, שגגת סייף ניתנה לכפרה, שגגת חנק לא ניתנה לכפרה. For Rabbi Shimon, for whom strangulation is more severe than killing somebody with a sword, the sword can be atoned for with kapara, i.e. Exile, and strangulation cannot, because this is higher up.
So
but
what?
Rabbanan,
Who cares? I mean, why can't anything be atoned for? I mean,
because there is an exclusion. I'm not gonna there is an exclusion for what can be atoned with exile and what can't.
Based on what?
Based on psukim and based on.
This is the first time we're seeing that concept. Until now, the exile
Exactly.
was just based on, was it an accident? How intentional was the act that resulted in the death? Now we're looking at
with
what kind of death.
Okay, so this is Rav Kahana trying to settle the fact that the ben goleh al yedei ha'av is something that the Mishnah is specifying.
Okay.
Right, like that's our train of thought. We don't know yet that that's how it's gonna go, right? But that's his offer. Why is the Mishnah specifying a ben goleh al yedei ha'av? Should be that everyone who kills somebody unintentionally gets exiled. Apparently, we specify the Av and the Ben, therefore there must be special about them. We don't yet know what it is. Rav Kahana offers to us the idea that maybe it has to do with the degree of punishments. For Rabbanan, דאמרי, סייף חמור מחנק, הורג אביו בשוגג, שגגת סייף. For the rabbis, they compare killing a father by the son to a shgagat saif, to the murder with a sword. V'shgagat saif
So wait, did
nitna
everyone agree
lekapara.
what the punishment of killing a father is? If you did it,
Do they ever agree?
do they agree? It's just a question of what happens if you do it unintentionally.
How it? Well, if it's intentional, then it's a murder.
No, so then no, but then how do you get killed? You get killed by
Who gets killed?
the person that killed the son, and whoever it is.
The
Wait.
rabbis say beheading, and
The father-
and
the son
Rabbi Shimon
killed
would
the
say
father.
strangulation.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Fine.
they
Alright.
first that
Got it.
part if it's
Fine.
intentional, but unintentional.
They,
So because, right?
So because you're just saying one is more chomer than the other,
Right.
you might be able to get colors for based on a reason we don't know. Why.
Right. And we talked about, back in Sanhedrin, we talked about what does this chamur mean? We're not sure what does this chamur mean. It could be the intentionality, not necessarily that this is something worse. They're anyway dead. Okay. But the point is that if you align them in the way of the Rabbanan, then the person can get kapara. And if you align them in the way of Rabbi Shimon, then the son cannot get kapara.
But wait, but it's really not. I'm not in terms of Michael's question. The real question is whether it's intentional or not, right? It's not the question of which is the more severe punishment.
So it seems like both. What do you mean by punishment? Not by punishment,
Oh,
by the
execution, right.
means of execution.
Right. In other words, if it's intentional, he has to get the more severe form of execution.
If it's
If it's unintentional, exile will atone.
it's assumed that it is unintentional,
Right.
right? Because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the ir miklat. The ir miklat is only for unintentional murder. The trying to settle this. I don't know if going to the end of this
I'll put it this way. It says-
piece is going to help.
And it says here,
but
an
yes.
unintentional commission of a crime subject to beheading is given to atonement through exile.
Right.
So that's why if he can get beheading, then he can get exile. He can be atoned. An inadvertent. You follow me? The question
You think
is,
of the beheading as a punishment to the son had it been intentional.
no.
No. I don't think so.
No, what I'm saying is, it says here, the unintentional commission of a crime that can be punished by beheading, okay, which the rabbis is saying, okay, but not Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon's saying it the other way around. That's why he
Right.
can't give them exile.
According to Rabbi Shimon, the guy
Because-
cannot get
Because he would
exiled.
strangle. he would
According to the
strangle him. Right,
rabbis,
right, okay,
he can get exiled.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Right, but we still don't know why. In other words, why because it's chenek or because it's this, you can
Apparently, that's
be atoned for versus you can't be atoned
Right.
for. I mean, it seems a little bit arbitrary.
okay.
Could be. I mean, there's a lot of things about this chapter we've seen earlier that are like gzerat hakatuv. The Arei Miklat are also gzerat hakatuv. And this whole thing is also going to be like, how do we exactly break the categories of who gets which punishment? So, not sure we completely unpacked, but I can't sit there. So we'll just
Okay,
move
sure,
on.
sure.
Okay. Rabbi is trying to explain it differently. He says, פרט לעושה חבורה באביו בשוגג, סלקא דאמינא, סלקא דתרא אמינא, כיוון דבמזיד ברכת להו, בשוגג נמי ליגלי, כמשמע לן, that's not. Okay, so Rabbi is trying to explain it. A son.
Still need it because it doesn't really.
Do you want to share it so that?
No, I'm
yeah.
just saying that. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt.
No. Just say.
Aruch Laner says still a verse is needed because the logic on its own is not compelling.
Which is what I was saying.
That's what Michael was saying.
Which is what we're saying. It's
Okay.
called gzerat hakatuv.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Okay,
We can only go so far.
right.
Okay. Rabbi is trying to offer something else that when a son kills the father, there's actually two transgressions. He had to beat him and he had to kill him. So he had to make a chabura. And so like there's more of an intentionality here. And if b'mezid he would be bar katla, and b'shogeg he could be exiled. And therefore this case is brought to us with the son who is, the Mishnah tells us specifically the son is Goleh. Okay. Hakol Golin al Yedei Israel. Who is this group of Hakol? הכל גולין על ידי ישראל. לעיתוי מאי, who are we trying to add? לעיתוי עבד וכותי, a Canaanite servant and the Samaritan, the Kutis. Okay, ותנינה, ברייתא, להדתנו רבנן, עבד וכותי גולה ולוקה על ידי ישראל, וישראל גולה ולוקה על ידי כותי ועבד. So understanding is that a Canaanite servant and a Samaritan, the Kuti, are exiled if by the account of an unintentional murder of a Jew, and likewise they get lashes, they flogged, right, by a Jew. And Israel likewise get exiled and gets lashes on the account of a Kuti and a Eved Knani. Okay, trying to undo this. Bishlama, Eved vekuti gole al yedei Israel, veloke gole dekatlia, veloke delatia. So he gets, what is the distinction between the galut and the lashes? He's going to be exiled for killing somebody, and he's going to be getting lashes for cursing somebody. Wait, this is unclear, and we're going to see that the lines there are very, very, very fuzzy, especially with the ger toshav. Ela, Yisrael gole veloke al yedei kuti. Bishlama gole dekatalia. Okay, fine, we got it. A Jew is going to get exiled and lashes on the account of hurting a Kuti, Samaritan or a non-Jew. Okay, so we got it. Bishlama gole de katalia, he gets exiled for killing somebody mistakenly, but loke, ela loke, amai delatia, what, like we're gonna give lashes to the Jew for cursing another non-Jew. The pasuk tells us, v'nasi be'amcha lo ta'or, prince or leader in your people, you will not curse. That should be be'oseh ma'aseh amcha, with somebody that is actually part of your people and not part of another nation. So what is exactly this case? This case does not quite pin out when the Mishnah says hakol. Do you want to add something? Because it's, you sure? Okay. So Rabbi Acha Bar Yaakov is going to try to unpack it in a slightly different way. He says, Kegon she'id bo vehuzam. So maybe somebody gave a false testimony and he became an ed zomem, and therefore he gets the punishment of, remember the whole edim zomemim? So he now gets the punishment of the person who was on the stand against whom he's testifying. The kvate gabei eved she'id bo vehuzam. So now it's again, there's a question on the question. Wait, we're talking about a eved, a servant, who gave a testimony and there was a hazama against him, right? The eved gave a false testimony and he was uzam. But the Gemara is immediately asking, eved bar edutu? What? Wait, you mean a servant can testify? That also does not make sense. So ela amar Rav Acha berei derav ika hacha b'may askinan. What is it that we're actually talking about? We're talking about a specific case, כגון שהיקהו הכאה שאין בה שווה פרוטה. He beat him, flogged him with in the case where one was struck in a blow that is not like worth anything, doesn't have a capacity to cause damage that is even worth one pruta. ואמר רב עמי, אמר רבי יוחנן, היכהו הכאה שאין בה שווה פרוטה, לוקה, ולא מקשינן הכאה לכללה. So, wait. Rav Ami says that Rav Yochanan says, although one who strikes another pays damages and is not flogged, if he struck him with a blow that does not have the capacity to cause damage worth even one pruta, since there is no payment, then he gets lashes for violating a Torah prohibition. Okay, not sure if we'll completely unpacked it, but we're just going to have to live with it. Questions or no questions? Okay. Okay, going back to the Mishnah. חוץ מעל ידי גר תושב, etc. So now we have a big problem with this pasuk, with this statement by the Mishnah, and actually some commentaries think that this is copied incorrectly, that should not say חוץ מעל ידי גר תושב, but it should say חוץ מגר תושב, because is it caused by the ger toshav or is it done to the ger toshav? Okay, unclear. Okay, so everyone is exiled for their unintentional murder of a Jew, and a Jew is exiled due to all of them, except for when it is due to a ger toshav, and we specified the ger toshav being somebody who lives in the land, and fulfills the 7 Noachites, but is not a Jew. Alma, ger toshav oved kochavim hu. So now we have a very complex conversation on, is the ger toshav the same status like the oved kochavim? Is it the same as the non-Jew who did not accept the Noachites, or is he a different status? Okay. The Gemara comments, let's go back. Alma ger toshav oved kochavim hu. Eima seifa ger toshav gole al yedei ger toshav. So see, if you give him galut, then he's like a Jew, because the arei miklat were given, and we'll see 2 conflicting psukim coming up in just a second. The arei miklat were giving to the Jews to have a place of escape in case of an unintentional murder. So now, is the ger toshav in this category of a non-Jew, or is the ger toshav in the category of a Yisrael? And we see that we have 2 conflicting psukim, and therefore we're trying to figure out if the ger toshav is the one killed or the one being killed. Okay? Rav Kahana is trying to settle it in the following way. Amar Rav Kahana, lo kashya, kan beger toshav sheharag ger toshav, kan beger toshav sheharag Israel. So he's trying to say that the case of a ger toshav who is given the privilege of escaping to the Ir Miklat is because he killed another ger toshav. As a resident of the land, he's also eligible for the Arei Miklat. But if he kills another Israel, then he cannot be atoned through exile, and he's going to get the death penalty. Okay, Ika derami karai hadadi. So there's also a way to understand the same thing that we just explained from 2 psukim in Bamidbar, and this is what I referred to. Livnei Israel velager velatoshav betocham tiyena 6 harim. So there's one pasuk in Bamidbar 35:15 that says that the arei miklat are going to be for the children of Israel and for the ger and for the toshav. Again, a distinction as opposed to calling him a ger toshav. A ger velatoshav. We saw it with Avram last week's parsha when he says ger vetoshav anochi. Okay, and in Bamidbar 35:12 it says vehayu lachem ha'arim lemiklat. Lachem velo lagerim. So which way is it? In one pasuk it says the arei miklat is for you and for the ger and for the toshav, so like for everybody in the land. But in another pasuk it says vehayu lachem, so it's only to you. Rav Kahana says, again, not a problem. Ger toshav sheharag Israel, ger toshav sheharag ger toshav get different. One can atone and one cannot atone. If he kills an Israel, a Jew, he cannot atone. If he kills another ger toshav, the Ir Miklat is open to him too. Rega, Gemara raises a contradiction now to what we were just taught. We have a teaching that a ger and an oved kochavim, like the non-Jews, if they kill another person, they get punishment, they get the death penalty. Katani, ger dumya de oved kochavim. So in that case, the ger is like the oved kochavim. We don't know what to do with him. Which way is he going? Is he considered, because of the Noachites and because of him living in the land, is he considered an Israel, and therefore he gets all the same benefits and consequences, or is he considered like a non-Jew? Which category is he going? מה עובד כוכבים? לא שנה דקתל בר מיני, ולא שנה דקתל דלאו בר מיני. It doesn't matter to us with the עובד כוכבים. Like, where did you come up with this, that if he kills in Israel, he gets a different punishment, and if he kills his own kind, he gets a different punishment? The עובד כוכבים, it doesn't matter to us who he killed. He's going to be punished by death. So the ger also should be אף גר, לא שנה דקתל בר מיני, ולא שנה דקתל דלאו בר מיני. He should be killed. So, but still, we excluded the ger toshav in the Mishnah, right? So how do we understand it? Amar Rav Chisda, la kasha. I like that they never have a problem with anything. La kasha. Hold on a second. My spot. La kasha. כאן שהרגו דרך ירידה, כאן שהרגו דרך עלייה. If I understand this correctly, to kill somebody in a downward way, or to kill somebody in an upward way. What does it mean? So to kill somebody by dropping something on them, a barrel, a stone, or whatever, that's considered less, maybe, potentially, less intentional. It's like, oops, I dropped the barrel, somebody happened to come walk under it, as opposed to, I unintentionally threw the knife to the other side of the mountain and it hit somebody. Okay, דרך ישראל, sorry, דרך ירידה דישראל, גלי איהו, so if he
Gali, then Ihu Nami.
right, איהו נמי, סגילי בגלות, דרך עלייה דישראל פטור, איהו נהרג.
No.
Maybe. So, okay.
We're not accepting that.
Wait a second, did I skip the line? Maybe. כאן שהרגו דרך ירידה וכאן שהרגו דרך ירידה. דרך ירידה דישראל, גלי איהו נמי, סגילי בגלות. דרך עלייה דישראל, פטור. פטור, it's הפוך. פטור means that he's פטור from the galut, but he can get the punishment. So he's not פטור, he goes free, but פטור he's going to get, he's going to be executed. Okay, פטור, הוא נהרג. אמר לו רבא, okay, so Rabbi is trying to solve it again.
Yeah, but I don't understand that. So if a Jew kills somebody derech aliyah, you're putter, so therefore you kill the ger toshav? You think you should let him off with gala, not kill him?
Okay, so I mean, like, the discussion
And I also don't
is
understand.
what it is because it's so convoluted and so complicated, not because it's simple. There are simpler things coming up, which I'd love to get to. But
I also don't understand if you're, we said before, if you're makkah somebody, hakash ema shavar, then you get Makkot, which then means if we were makkah him a shavar puta, what would you do? Just pay, right?
I guess.
So it's much better than to hit him more.
Right.
So then why do we want to get 39 lashes? Just hit him again and then just pay like $1.
Well,
Pay 5 cents.
we had this
39 lashes or
we
5
had
cents.
this
What would you prefer?
earlier. Like, okay, we had this earlier. If somebody
Doesn't make
kills
sense.
somebody by mistake, he has to be exiled to the Ir Miklat, okay? Or he runs away to the Ir Miklat. What if he killed somebody intentionally, but there was only one witness? Or there was no hatra'ah? Then he goes away free. He might as well come back and say, no, I actually meant to kill him, because then he doesn't have to exile.
No, but then can't the
This
Goel
is-
Adam kill him?
Huh?
If he can't the Goel Adam, then he's
Maybe
living the
there's
rest
no
of his
Goel
life
Adam.
perhaps
Like-
being scared that he'll be killed. But in this case,
Okay, but like, so you see that the Gemara like tries to work these statements along with the psukim, and it's like trying to, if this, then this, then this, then this, oops, we hit a wall. This does not make sense. Okay, let's back out. How much can we back out? Let's go a different route. You know what? I don't get it. Moving on. That's
I mean, the
that's
psukim
kind of
seem
how,
relatively innocuous. It's just that it's the
the
Gemara is making it
psukim
difficult.
of the Torah.
Yeah, they
But
seem
why?
relatively straightforward.
Why?
I don't know. I mean,
The
until
Mishnah seems to be creating
until-
a scaffolding that doesn't
yeah,
hold
the
weight.
Gemara is the
It
one
does-
that's making
it
all this
doesn't
problem.
need to be built.
Okay, so how this would be a fascinating, I would love to do this as an exercise, that we would take the psukim and we would be the Gemara and we would try to
Yeah.
figure out where it's going, right? So we would have two conflicting psukim. One says what we read from both of them in Numbers, right, in Bamidbar. One says the Arei Miklat is to you, velager, velatoshav, right? So to some sort of an everybody. And one says the Arei Miklat is just to you.
What I would have said is easily just that, one's building on the other one. You and everyone else. We already mentioned everyone else again. I don't want to have we have this a lot of time. There's the Mishnah leads out a whole bunch of things at times, right? Doesn't have to use every case. So since we're already saying one pasuk,
except
but there's no contradiction.
It's not a dictatorship. So you would say there's no contradiction based on A, B, and C. And Gloria would say, no. I don't see it this way. There's no contradiction because blah, blah, blah. And somebody else would say, well, actually, whatever, something else. Let's bring a third pasuk to try to settle it. That is exactly the conversation. It's exactly what we're doing right now.
Well, the second pasuk is lachem, which doesn't say just for Yisraelim. It's broad enough that it could be referring back.
See, Gloria and I are agreeing.
I can challenge it. I will challenge it right now because
you're trying to be
who
difficult.
says? I'm the Gemara. I take pride in that. But who says this pasuk? Arei miklat. Who instructs who with the Arei miklat? What's the background of that pasuk?
God, or Moshe saying?
Moshe saying, or God saying through Moshe to Bnei Israel. He was not talking to the Ger Toshav. This was not even in the land. How come you can say that it's lachem to everybody? It's not. It's
because you already said another pasuk
of
Bnei Israel.
Yes,
we're saying the same thing.
No, it's just for us. The others we
It's
don't
how
care.
broad an antecedent does your pronoun have?
Right, but if it was Pshita, then we would have a Gemara and we would not be who we are.
Obviously,
But
there's
it's not.
some Masorah floating around that differentiates,
Right.
which is why they're struggling to
Right,
read the other
right. To
pasuk
put this
make
together.
the contradiction.
Right. If we can get through the next whatever 3 little sections, at the bottom there is a good story that I think is a good midrash for something we just read in the parsha in the last couple of weeks, and we will find it hopefully more exciting than this. No offense.
No,
to
it's exciting,
anybody.
but it's just very difficult to understand the logic. That's all.
Maybe the takeaway is there is no logic here, and we just have to get through it.
Okay. Side comment. No, I love doing Sudoku. And I had the illusion the Sudoku has one answer. But there are more, when you get to the very hard Sudokus, they have more than 3 answers. How's it possible? If the 9 is here, the 1 is here, the 4 is here, it should be only 7 here. But no. So if Sudoku can have more than one answer, I am okay with the Gemara being more confusing than Sudoku. Okay, Malu Rabba. ולאו קל וחומר הוא. We just did it, right? ומה דרך ירידה דישראל? גלי אי הוא נע מסגילי, בגלות, דרך עלייה דישראל.
Okay, so it's the same problem.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Rabbi said to him, is it not derived by means of the kal vachomer, right? So the contrary, we can derive exactly the opposite. If one unintentionally kills another in what they call downward motion, right, in the yerida, which is a case where the killer was a Jew, then he would be exiled. The Ger Toshav also would be exiled and nothing more. But if he killed in an upward motion, assuming it's throwing something upward, which is a case where if the killer was a Jew, he would be exempt from exile. So is he killed? Really? It's exactly what you're asking, right? Rather, Ela Marava, Beomer Mutar. So now, no, the case that we're talking about is where the Ger Toshav who killed another Ger Toshav thinks it is permitted to kill the victim. I have a picture here this is a very important picture. It will connect. Okay, Amarlo. You're leaving in the middle of this excitement, right? Listen on. אמר לו אביי, אומר מותר, אנוסו, אמר לו, שאני אומר מותר, קרוב למזיד הוא. Okay, so Abaye says to him, one who says that it is permitted to kill this victim because there's some circumstances beyond his control. This is the mutar anus. He has circumstances that are beyond his control. Or is it mutar mezid? Okay, so this is like splitting the hairs even further. I will put them to the side here. there is a mutar that is anus and mutar that is mezid. So even in the shgaga, even in killing somebody mistakenly, we talked about it last time, even in killing somebody mistakenly, there can be two options. One, I brought the example in. One, that it is in circumstances beyond his control, and one that there is an element that was wrong. And we'll see, wait a second, where is, oh. That's on the other side. Okay. All right. Can we, in the Gemara, where are we? Gemara observes, ואז דו לטעמי דאיתמר כסבור בהמה ונמצא אדם, כנעני ונמצא גר תושב. So now, what is the situation that is like shgaga, right? There could be different ways to kill somebody in the wrong way. One is, well, I slapped him and I didn't know it was going to kill him, right? That was unintentional. But another way is to see somebody and think that it is somebody else or something else. Hence this beautiful, glorious picture here. Does anybody know what this is? This is from a famous book. The book is The Little Prince.
Oh, right,
and he always draws
Yeah,
this
the
picture and shows it to the
Yeah.
adults. And what is it? It's a hat.
Mm-hmm.
But the little princes know the adults don't know how to look at pictures. This is really a snail that swallowed an elephant.
Right.
Okay, so this is exactly the situation we have here. Kesavur behema v'nimtza adam. He thought he was shooting a deer, but it was really a person with antlers. Knaani v'nimtza ger toshav. He thought he was shooting shooting is wrong era, but killing an Eved Knani, and it turned out that it was a ger toshav. Rava Omer, Chayav Omer Mutar Karov Lemezid. Okay, so now we're discussing the splitting of the mutar. Is he liable? Is he more responsible or less? Like, what is the situation? Is it a mezid? We gave the example of somebody who is drinking and driving recklessly and then kills somebody by mistake. I didn't mean it, but there is an element of mezid as opposed to somebody who is driving cautiously and then somebody runs into him. Okay, so this is where the Gemara is here. 1 second. Rava says, Avomer Chayav, he's liable to be executed, as with regard to one who says that it is permitted. His actions border on the intentional. This is the mezid, right? He by mistake, but it was close to intentional. And Rav Chisda Omer, Patur Omer Mutar Anusu. So Rav Chisda says, no, he's the one who says that he's permitted to kill the victim is a victim himself of circumstance beyond his control. Okay.
That's like ignorance of the law,
Not necessarily of the law, but of a situation.
It's almost like the difference between negligence and recklessness.
Yes. And how do we make that difference in modern law?
No, I mean
very different kinds of punishment.
Okay, and like a situation, right? We can go along with the driving.
Yeah.
So you're driving in a school zone. It's supposed to be 25. You're
driving
even
too
going
fast
20.
in the rain or something.
Right. As opposed, so you're driving really slow and cautiously, and somebody runs into your car out of nowhere, whatever. Or you're driving fast, recklessly in the rain after you've been drinking. This category is opposed to that category.
Okay.
The mezid has
even
I'm saying,
maybe,
but the one who is saying totally ignorant of law, who thought killing was permissible, is not an accident.
what's
so
the
this-
hunter example, I think.
right. So there's
The guy's
two.
out there hunting for deer,
So that's an
and
accident.
not necessarily. If he knows there's other hunters out there and he just sees a flash of brown, maybe he shouldn't shoot at that point. Maybe he should clarify whether it's a person or a
Right,
deer.
but he still knows that killing a person is not permissible. That's what I'm saying. The previous case, this case here where it says person thinks that killing is permissible, that seems to be another category.
I don't think it means that he
Rega.
thinks killing is permissible.
Okay.
I think it means that
Rava is
particular
going
act
to
that he's doing
introduce
is
a
permissible.
story. We like
Okay.
stories. It will help us
Okay.
understand, and it will help us look at a story that we maybe think we new, but is going to come up a little bit differently. Okay, and so Rava brings us Abaye lerava, right? He bring
Where are you?
at the bottom,
second to last line.
second to last, yes.
Okay.
Like no, I'm too far. I skipped too much.
Yes,
Eitive, last skinny line. Eitive Rava le Rav Chisda. And Rava is going to bring a story into this where somebody said, oh, I didn't know, it was by mistake. And yet the Torah implied this person would have a death penalty had there been a court. So if he didn't mean it, how could there have been a death? Therefore, the mezid has an impact. Okay? Kind of okay? All right. Okay. הייתי ברב לרב חיסדא, הנך מת על האישה אשר לקחת. What is the case from? Anybody verse rings a bell? This is from Hashem appearing at night at Avimelech's dream, right, or vision. And Hashem says to Avimelech, you, in modern Hebrew, met al, it's like you're to die for. I mean, really, I'm like excited about somebody. But in Torah language, hincha met al haisha asher lakachta, you are going to be dead, executed, presumably, for this woman that you have taken. He taken Sarah from Avram. Why did Avimelech took Sarah from Avram?
He thought it was his sister.
He thought it was his sister. Let's see what the Gemara thinks about that thinking of Avimelech along with
He
this.
was told it was.
Shgaga. He was told.
It wasn't even he thought. It was.
He didn't know. Okay, let's see what the Gemara is doing.
Raped,
Huh?
Probably still raped, though.
Probably.
Still raped.
Even though he's told.
Okay.
Well, just because she's his sister doesn't mean he can just take her and...
Right. Doesn't imply consent.
I'm so I'm excited to tell you what's coming, but
Okay.
No. Okay. So this would be Incha met al haisha asher lakachta, my love bibdei adam. Like, what does Hashem mean? Hincha met, right? You're dead. He's not dead. He's not going to be dead later. But like, sort of, if there was a court, which there wasn't, there was no Beit Din, we couldn't then that maybe would be the punishment that they would have given them. And then it says, lo, bidei shamayim. No. I mean, from heaven, this is the punishment you should receive. Dikanami dichtiv mechato li, because you transgressed against me, right? Hashem says, mechato li. ולטעמך, וחטאתי לאלוהים. Oh, we have another pasuk from someone else who, when he is on the verge, he doesn't take, sorry, let me take this back, on the verge of taking another man's wife, he says, I sinned to God. Who is this? Yosef, right? Yosef, when he is with Potiphar's wife, he says, וחטאתי לאלוהים. And the Gemara is asking, Le'elohim velo le'adam? What do you mean you're about to take another man's wife? This is what you're worried about, that you're transgressing against God and not a man? Ela dino masur le'adam. But rather than, yes, the transgression ultimately is against God, but the judgment is by people, would have been by people, right? Had we had the whole system. Hachanami, also here for Avimelech, dino masur le'adam. His judgment is given to a person. This is rega. Eitive, so another objection to this opinion, right? That was just brought, that Rava has just raised. Abaye says, but look, Avimelech says, Hagoy gam tzadik taharog. And God did not object, right? Avimelech said, really? Okay, Hashem said, Ata met al haisha, you're going to be executed on account of this woman. And Avimelech said, Hagoy gam tzadik ta'arog, are you killing a nation that is righteous? And he wasn't killed. So therefore, we could understand that Hashem agrees with Avimelech that he's a tzaddik, right? But no. What Hashem says to him, Kedaka mehadri alwia, you need to return her, because the pasuk afterwards says, Ve'ata השב אשת האיש, כי נביא הוא. Okay, now you must return the wife to her husband because he's a prophet. Gemara immediately is going to challenge this. אשת נביא הוא דתדהדר, דלאו נביא לא תדהדר? לא תדהדר? What, wait a second. Torah, you just said to me, return the woman because ki, but ki is not always because, but let's just go with a because in order to cause trouble. Because it's a wife of a prophet, so the Gemara challenges it. Wait a second. You mean return the wife because she's a wife of a prophet? Had she been a wife of anybody else, you would have not had to return her? Of course you would have had to return her. It's rhetoric. That is not the point here. It also doesn't help us answer our shgaga. אלא כדאמר רב שמואל בר נחמני, דאמר רב שמואל בר נחמני, אמר רבי יונתן, הכי כאמר לי. This is what Hashem said to Avimelech. ואתה השב אשת האיש. Now, return the wife of this man. מכל מקום. In any case, you have to return her. וכאמרת, הגוי גם צדיק תהרוג. The fact that you, about this other thing that you said, that you're so righteous, let me challenge a little bit your righteousness. הלא הוא אמר לי אחותי היא, etc. Right? You, Avimelech, are saying to me, this would be so good to act out this conversation between God and Avimelech. Avimelech, you said, oh, he told me she's his sister. I did not know. Remember, we're back in this. Like, was this intentional or was there circumstances beyond his control? Oh, look, I didn't know. Right. On that, the Gemara says, Navihu, for that is the second part of the pasuk, that he's a prophet. Umimcha lamad. Abraham is not because he's a prophet you return it, but also in this situation, he was a prophet because he learned from you, Avimelech, what your real intentions are. Achsanai hu sheba le'ir. Al iskei achila v'shtiya shoalim oto. When you come to be a guest in an inn somewhere, the innkeeper, the host, should say to you, how are you? Would you like to eat? Would you like to drink, right? Al iskei achila v'shtiya shoalim oto. How was the journey? Okay. This is שואלים אותו. כלום שואלים אותו, אשתך זו, אחותך זו? Really, when you come to visit someplace, you go there with your spouse, immediately the innkeeper is like, is that your wife? Is that your sister? What business is it of him? Like, he should have been concerned with how to host his guests. And therefore, מכאן שבן נוח נהרג, שהיה לו ללמוד ולא למד. Therefore, Abraham learned from Avimelech, from Avimelech's questions, that his intentions were not clean. And therefore, because God says, Hincha met, you are deserving of the death penalty for doing this, therefore, Ben Noach נהרג, שהיה לו ללמוד ולא למד. He should have learned by being the Ben Noach is like the Ger Toshav, right? He should have learned from the Jews that are living around him, but he didn't. Okay, a little more. This is good. I like that Avimelech, unpacking that Avimelech story, that he really learned, that Avram really, because we always read it like, what went wrong? He asked, and Avram answered. But there's so much, you know better than me, there's so much that you learn from what people ask about what they want.
I think the flaw in that is that Abraham tells Sarah before they even get there.
Yeah.
They're going to ask or something, and you should say.
You know, that's also like a lot of it. Like, what is the subtext? You know, like he goes to Avimelech. He knows Avimelech from before, right? It's not their first
it's
encounter.
Probably in the Torah,
So-
Abraham is anticipating this.
Right, that this
whereas
is what's
the
going to
Gemara
happen.
is putting it as Avimelech initiated it before any of
But
this.
it might
Could
be
say
that,
Abraham knew
Right.
what kind
Yeah.
of person Abimelech
Right.
was.
Yes.
right. Maybe he knew that it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah.
people come to Avimelech, he doesn't say, did you eat, did you
Yeah.
drink? But he says,
But the Gemara is like sharpening it for
right,
us.
right. Which we
Yeah.
usually
It's
don't
good.
think about. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good. Okay, another Mishnah on this fabulous issue. If we can get to the bottom, that would be super exciting. Okay. הסומה אינו גולה, דברי רבי יהודה. רבי מאיר אומר גולה. Okay, the blind person does not get exiled. This is according to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Meir says he does. השונא אינו גולה. רבי יוסי אומר, השונא נהרג מפני שהוא כמועד. Okay, so we have a category of a hater. And super interesting and important to put out there. Think about when we open the ark, we say, ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך. So in some translations, the soneh is translated as enemy. He's not an enemy. He's somebody who hates you. Think about this like, whatever, in modern life. We might have, what do you call it, like in Congress, right? Agreements with somebody that we hate, but we have the same interests, right? As opposed to somebody who is our enemy and is out to get us openly. Okay, so it's slightly different category. We're not defining it here, but it's important to note that it's not necessarily an enemy. It's somebody that hates us. Okay. And Rabbi Yossi says about him, and we'll see in a minute, hopefully, "Hasoneh ne'erag mipnei shehu kemu'ad." He's like somebody who is going to do something because he has these feelings, right? So he's already known. Yes.
Can't an enemy also work with somebody who's their enemy? Like two states will work together even though they're enemies.
So what defines an enemy?
Because they have a third.
What defines an enemy?
Okay.
So an enemy has to be. The Gemara doesn't define it. It talks about it like normal, but it's important for us to note that it is a soneh, not an oyev. There is a word for enemy. Many translations say soneh is an enemy.
The difference carries over into English. That might be a difference in the Hebrew words.
No, it has to. Like, we have this, as I said, like when we open the ark, why do we say, Yafutsu oivecha veyanusu mesanecha. Your enemies will be scattered and your haters will run away. Right? Okay, but we distinguish in that pasuk between oivim and sunim. So it's not the same. Okay. Resist this transition. Okay, all right. And what Rabbi Yossi is suggesting is that the soneh is like, he doesn't need, you'll see, either now or not, the soneh does not need hatra because he is a soneh. He hates the other person. So he is, there is something in him that might cause the other person damage because he has these feelings. Okay. Rabbi Shimon omer, יש שונא גולה ויש שונא שאינו גולה. So Rabbi Shimon says, wait, we have to distinguish between the two. Some people that hate us, they get exile, and some people don't. שאינו גולה. זה הכלל, כל שהוא יכול לומר לדעת הרג אינו גולה, ושלא לדעת הרג, הרי זה גולה. If there was an intentionality in the killing, he does not get exile, he gets the death penalty. If there was no intentionality, שלא לדעת, then he gets exiled. Okay, Gemara is asking, where is this from? We have a pasuk in this issue of the Ir Miklat that talks about belo reot, someone who can't. Now, something we can't translate, because as soon as we translate, we're going to give it commentary. Belo reot, without seeing. Who? When? Where? Tanu Rabbanan. Belo reot, prat lesuma divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda understands that belo reot excludes the guy who can't see, that he therefore does not get the Ir Miklat. But Rabbi Meir says, belo reot, davka to include the blind person. 2 whole minutes. My tama de Rabbi Yehuda, dichtiv asher yavo et re'eu bayar, afilu suma ata. Belo reut mi'atya, mi'ut. So Rabbi Yehuda uses a different part of that pasuk, right? A different part about the unintentional murder. It says, "V'asher yavo et re'eu bayar lachtov etzim v'nitcha yado bagarzen lichrot ha'etz v'nashal habarzel min ha'etz." So somebody who comes in the forest, he came to whack down the trees, to chop the trees. As he was doing it, whoops, he was left with the handle and the metal flew and killed somebody, right? And this could be even somebody that, the belo reut is a mi'ut, it excludes the one that cannot see. Rabbi Meir, belo reut, למעט, בבלי דעת למעט, הבי מיעוט אחר מיעוט. Rabbi Meir says that without seeing is an exclusion, and bivli dat is another exclusion. Because we have a rule that we don't exclude from another exclusion, then those are two separate things, and ela אין מיעוט אחר מיעוט, אלא לרבות. רבי יהודה, בבלי דעת, פרט למתכוון הוא דעת. רבי יהודה says, no, the בלי דעת, the one that does it without noticing, that's like a different category. It's not one that takes from the other, but a different category. I am very fearful I'm going to have to stop. You can have the other part of the drawing for tomorrow, the issue of the two ropes. The rope that is being cut is a mistake, and the rope that is slipping out is more intentional, because otherwise he should have tied the knot better. And with that, thank you for being with us,
Thank you.
and a
Nicole.
fabulous day.